Level 1. The Desperate Man. You're 28 years old. Your rent is 4 months overdue. Your business failed 6 weeks ago, and your wife stopped wearing her wedding ring. You're sitting at a bar at 2 p.m. on a Tuesday because you have nowhere else to go. A man in a perfectly tailored suit sits next to you. He orders you a drink without asking, then another, then another. He doesn't talk about himself, he talks about you, your debts, your failures, your dying marriage. Somehow, he knows everything. After the fourth drink, he leans in close. Have you ever thought about joining something bigger than yourself? You're drunk, you're desperate. You nod. He slides a card across the bar, an address, a date. Tomorrow night, come alone, dress well. He pays the tab and leaves. You pocket the card, and you stumble home. You have no idea what you just agreed to, but you're going. After all, you have nothing left to lose. Level 2. The Apprentice. It's 8 p.m. the next night. You're standing outside an old stone building downtown. No signs, no windows on the first floor. Just a heavy wooden door. You knock, and a man opens. He doesn't smile. He asks your name. He checks a list, and he nods. You're led down a hallway. The walls covered in symbols you don't recognize. Squares, compasses, all-seeing eyes. You're brought into a small room. You're told to strip down to your underwear. You hesitate, but the man doesn't even blink. You strip. They blindfold you, and you hear a door open. You're led forward. Your bare feet are cold on the stone floor. A voice speaks, deep, commanding. Do you swear a blood oath to this brotherhood on penalty of death? You laugh nervously, but nobody else is laughing. The room is silent. I swear, you say. They remove the blindfold. You blink. The room comes into focus. Candles, an altar, men in dark robes standing in a circle around you. You recognize faces. The mayor, the judge from the courthouse, the loan officer from the bank that denied your business loan last month. They're all staring at you. You've just entered a world you can never leave. You are now a Freemason. Level 3. The Ritual Enforcer. 3 months pass. You attend meetings, you learn handshakes, symbols, passwords. You're still broke, but you're told to be patient. The rewards come to those who prove their loyalty. One night, you get a call. We have a situation, the voice says. Be at the lodge in 20 minutes. You arrive. 4 other men are waiting. One of them hands you a black duffel bag. You don't open it. You already know what's inside. A senior member broke his oath. He talked to his wife about the rituals, told her things that should never leave the lodge. She asked too many questions, and he answered them. You're given an address, a house in the suburbs. The 5 of you drive in silence. You park 2 blocks away. You walk. The lights are on at the house. You see him through the window. He's eating dinner with his wife. He looks happy. He has no idea what's coming. You don't kick in the door. You knock. He opens it. His face goes white when he sees you. What happens in that house over the next 40 minutes is something you will never speak of. Not to your wife, not to a priest, not to yourself when you're alone at night. You tell yourself it was necessary. You tell yourself he knew the rules. You drive home at 2 a.m. You shower. You climb into bed. You sleep surprisingly well. That's what scares you. Not what you did, but how easy it was to move on. Level 4. The Shadow Mason. Your loyalty has been noticed. The brothers reward loyalty. 2 weeks after that night, you get a phone call. It's the bank. Your business loan application. The one that was rejected? It's been approved. $150,000. No explanation. You don't ask questions. Your business suddenly starts winning contracts. City contracts. Contracts you have no right to win. Your bids aren't the lowest, but it doesn't matter. You're making real money for the first time in your life. Your wife stops asking where the money comes from. She's just grateful. You buy a new car, a nicer apartment. You're eating at restaurants you couldn't afford 6 months ago. But you know how quickly you could lose it all. There's another brother. He was in the order for 12 years. He made a mistake. He talked too openly at a dinner party about what happens inside the lodge. Within 3 months, his permits are revoked. His contracts are canceled. His bank accounts frozen. You see him one day outside a grocery store. He's putting coins into a parking meter. He used to drive a Porsche. Now he's driving a 15-year-old Honda. You make eye contact. He looks at you like he wants to say something, but he doesn't. He just gets in his car and leaves. You don't ask questions. You understand perfectly. The order gives, the order takes away. You need to keep climbing. It's the only way to protect yourself. Level 5. The Master Mason. The third degree ceremony. You've heard whispers about it. Tonight, you find out why. You're brought into the lodge. The room is darker than usual. More candles, fewer brothers watching. Only the senior members are here. You're told to lie down in a wooden coffin. You do. They close the lid. You hear them chanting words you don't understand. Then, they lift the coffin. You feel yourself rising, and they drop it. Your back slamming against the floor. Hard. The air gets knocked out of your lungs. For about 5 seconds, you can't breathe. You panic. Then, the lid opens. They pull you out. They tell you that you've died and are reborn as a Master Mason now. They give you the secret handshake, the secret word. You repeat it back. They nod. Everything changes after that night. Doors that were always closed open without you even knocking. You walk into a government building for a permit. The clerk sees your ring, the square and compass. He waves you to the front of the line, and your permit is approved within 10 minutes. You need a meeting with a senator. You mention you're a brother. His assistant calls you back in 2 hours. The meeting is scheduled for the next day. You realize something. The lodge you joined is just the surface. There are higher degrees, secret councils. The Master Mason degree is only the 3rd level. There are 30 more above you. You're invited deeper. The men in this room aren't small-time players. These are judges, police chiefs, senators, men who make decisions that affect millions. Favors flow like water. You start to understand what this really is. It's not a fraternity. It's not a charity. It's a machine. A machine that runs the world, and you've become a part of it. Level 6. The Architect. You're handed an assignment, a local election. The lodge has a preferred candidate, a brother. He needs to win. It's your job to make sure he does. You throw money at him. Donations, charities, transfers from shell companies. The candidate doesn't even know where it's coming from. He just knows his campaign has unlimited resources. But there are problems. The opponent is running a strong campaign. Too strong. You make some calls. The local newspaper, the one that is about to endorse him, the owner is a brother. The endorsement goes to your candidate instead. The union that was about to back the opponent, the union boss gets a visit from 2 men in suits. Despite all your hard work though, it's not enough. The candidate is still ahead in the polls. This is not acceptable. You make a phone call, and you give the order. 4 men show up to the rival candidate's house at 11 p.m. on a Saturday. His wife gets in a car accident the next morning. She survives, barely. Broken leg, fractured skull. She'll recover, but it'll take months. The rival candidate withdraws from the race that afternoon. Family emergency, he says. He's crying during the press conference. You feel nothing. Your candidate wins in a landslide. Level 7. The Freemason Knight. The invitation comes on expensive paper. You're being elevated to the 18th degree. You're going to become a Freemason Knight. The ceremony is private. Only a dozen men are present. The room is different. Red velvet curtains, golden candelabras, symbols you've never seen before. The oaths you swear make the previous ones feel like children's promises. You now sell your soul to the Brotherhood. They pour you wine. It's thick, sweet, metallic. You drink it. You don't ask what it is. The rituals get darker. There's chanting in languages you don't understand. There are objects on the altar that look old, very old. You see things that make you uncomfortable, but you don't leave. You don't flinch. You've come too far. You also meet a different class of men at this level. They aren't town mayors or local contractors. These are federal judges, military generals, CEOs, men who shape the country. You're in the room where it happens now. A brother's company is competing for a $2 billion defense contract. You make a call to a senator. The contract is awarded 1 week later. No one says thank you. No one needs to. This is how the Freemasons work. Level 8. The 30th degree. You are a successful man now, a renowned business owner with a name that carries weight in every room. The order has decided you will run for president. You don't argue. You don't hesitate. You say yes before they finish the sentence. The machine starts moving the next morning. Brothers embedded inside your opponent's campaign feed you every strategic decision before it's made public. 11 days before the election, the scandal drops. Illegal emails that the order has been holding for 4 years. saved for exactly this moment. Media organizations that the brothers control run the story simultaneously. Your opponent's funding disappears in 72 hours. On election night, you win by 19%. The podium is loud and bright, and 10,000 people are screaming your name. You give the speech about hope and the will of the people and the great democratic tradition. In the third row, you see a brother you have known for 11 years. He doesn't cheer, nor does he clap. He looks at you with an expression that is almost bored. He's seen this part before. Your presidency was never in doubt. The will of the people had nothing to do with it. The Freemasons control the United States of America. Level 9. The Freemason Leader. You're handed your largest assignment yet. A single sentence. Destroy a nation in the Middle East. Oil-rich, strategically positioned. Their government has been resisting the Order's influence for years. They rejected a pipeline deal. They're aligning with countries that don't serve the Order's interests. Your job is to break them. You don't invade. That's messy, expensive. You destroy them economically. You coordinate the operation through hidden means. You use your brothers in the World Bank, brothers in 3 major hedge funds. You destroy their currency. You recall their loans. You trigger a debt crisis. You coordinate with brothers in their neighboring countries to close trade routes. Their imports stop. Their exports can't leave. The economy starts to suffocate. You plant stories in international media about government corruption. 2 politicians who are propping up the government? They're quietly removed. One dies in a helicopter crash. Mechanical failure, the report says. The other has a heart attack at 51. Very sudden. Very convenient. The government falls within 8 months. A new government takes over. A government friendly to the Order. You make billions of dollars. But millions are affected. Families lose everything. Thousands die on the street. And millions of people are unemployed. You don't care. Because you are doing what's necessary. You are serving the Order. Level 10. The Sacrifice. To ascend further, you must sever your last tie to your former life. Your wife has grown suspicious. She's found things. Symbols drawn on papers in your office, a second phone you keep locked in your desk, unexplained absences, 3-day trips with no details. She starts asking questions. Where are you going? Who are you meeting? What are you involved in? You deflect. You lie. But she's not stupid. She gives you an ultimatum. Tell me what's going on or I'm leaving, and I'm taking the kids. You call your superior the next morning. He tells you to handle it yourself. You sit in your office for 2 hours. You think about your wedding day, the life you used to have. Then you make the arrangements. By Friday night, she's gone. It's efficient. It's clean. It's the most methodical thing you have ever done, and you do it without your hands even shaking. What scares you isn't what you did. It's that you don't grieve. You don't miss her. You don't feel anything. The only thing you can think about is that you've been promoted. That's all that matters. The Order comes first. Level 11. The Ruthless Freemason. The current Grand Master is 78 years old. His health is failing. There are 3 men positioned to replace him when he steps down or dies. You are one of them. But there is a problem. The other candidates are genuinely dangerous to your plans. One of them is old school, a traditionalist. He believes the Order should stay in the shadows. He's opposed to the expansion strategies you've been implementing. If he becomes Grand Master, everything you've built gets dismantled. You will be removed. He has to go. 1 week later, he's driving on a wet road. A sharp curve, his brakes fail. The car goes off the cliff. He's killed instantly. The investigation rules it mechanical failure. The second candidate is much easier. He receives a package at his home. No return address. Inside are photographs. His daughter walking to school. A map of her route. Timestamps. A note with 2 words. Your choice. He withdraws from the election next morning. You're the only candidate left. Every brother on Earth will know your name. Level 12. The God. You are named Grand Master in a ceremony attended by brothers from over 40 countries. The ritual takes place in a hall that has been used for over 240 years. No phones, no cameras, no records. You see CEOs of companies worth trillions, heads of state, royalty, men who control central banks, men who run intelligence agencies, men who decide what wars get fought and what governments get toppled. You stand at the altar. You give your acceptance speech. You talk about the noble work of Freemasonry. Every single word is a lie. Everyone in the room knows it, but they applaud anyway. Your decisions affect billions of people who will never know your name. There is a famine beginning in Africa. You know about it, but not from the news. You know it because you caused it. The disruption was necessary. Foreign companies, all brother-owned, will be able to buy the land for pennies. The profits will be in the billions. Millions will starve. But you feel nothing. You love the power. Level 13, the eye that never closes. You are the Lodge. There is no higher authority, no one above you. Every brother in every position of power across the globe answers to you. But you have never felt more trapped in your life. You cannot leave. There is no resignation letter, no retirement. The only exit from this position is the same exit you arranged for others, and you know exactly what it looks like. It terrifies you. You cannot trust anyone. Not your assistant, not your security detail, not the brothers you have known since the beginning. You watch the way they watch you, measuring, calculating, waiting for the first sign that you are becoming what every Grandmaster eventually becomes, a liability. You haven't slept through the night in 3 years. There is a knock at the door. You don't answer it. You've sent that knock yourself enough times to know exactly what it means. You stay at the window. You keep looking at the city. It's a beautiful city. It always was.